Despite what fanatics think, science doesn't actually have the answer to everything. When you think about it, the whole method and discipline is relatively young compared to how long humanity has existed, and this is why there are so many things that we don't know yet, or at least have yet to discover. Picking up on that, here are the 10 most mysterious artifacts that cannot be explained.
Amazing!
Number 10. London Hammer. This was accidentally discovered by Max and Emma Hahn somewhere between 1934 and 1936, when the married couple were out on a walk. They saw something unusual poking out from a piece of rock, which they then decided to take home to check out. The artifact, dubbed the London Hammer, is believed to have been around 500 million years old. In other words, it existed even before there were humans. So the question is, how in the hell could there have been a hammer at a time when dinosaurs roamed the earth? Well, the leading scientific theory is that it's just a natural phenomenon. The minerals within the rock turned into iron due to time and the elements. However, considering that the material the London Hammer is made of is 96% iron, it's hard to think that technology wasn't involved in its creation. So it's still a huge mystery as to where exactly this ancient tool comes from. Number 9. Saqqara bird. This is a truly curious piece of history. It was discovered in Egypt's province of the same name during an archaeological trip in 1898. At first glance, it might just look like a toy bird made of wood, just about a few inches long, but there's more to it than that. You see, even the ancient Egyptians delved into studies about aviation and had theories about how man can reach the skies. So modern archaeologists and Egyptologists speculate that this could have been an attempt by the old civilization to create a working aircraft, arriving at the theory that the Saqqara bird is a mini prototype made by ancient Egyptian aviators in hopes of conquering the skies. However, considering its shape, some experts believe that a working model would have more likely been more similar to gliders than flying machines. No one really knows for sure, considering that there are very few records surviving that particularly relates to the Saqqara bird. In fact, a leading counter theory regarding the Saqqara bird proposes that it was nothing but a wooden plaything. Making it even more difficult to pinpoint the exact purpose of this curious object is that even its date of origin is still heavily debated to this day, which ranges from anywhere between 200 BC to some 2000 years ago. Number 8. Antikythera mechanism. This artifact is so named because of where it was discovered, which was in the Greek region of the same name where perhaps the largest shipwreck in the ancient world had occurred. It was discovered in 1900, and its purpose has been debated by scientists ever since. On one hand, they believe it's a gear that belonged to the ship itself, although for what purpose, no one knows for sure. On the other though, there are experts who arrived at the conclusion that it's some sort of analog computer that was used to forecast astronomical activity. Despite the disagreement between these two camps, they all agree on one thing, that they don't know who exactly came up with the Antikythera mechanism. There are experts who trace its origins to the Corinth region of Syracuse, which may then suggest that legendary mathematician and astronomer Archimedes played a part in its creation, but it's all just guesswork up to this day. Apart from that, the only thing we know for sure about this mysterious artifact is that it dates back to the 3rd century BC, and that it was indeed made by Greek astronomers. Number 7. Winnipesaukee Stone. This weird artifact found in 1872 in New England's Lake Winnipesaukee is really interesting. For one, it's a dark egg-like stone that's been engraved with various symbols like faces, corn, and stars. Now that might seem ordinary, but there is one gaping mystery to this stone statue. When experts checked it closely, they saw two very uniform and smoothly created holes on its two ends, which points to the use of some sort of drill being involved in its creation. And, last time we checked, drills that could make holes as efficient as the ones found in the Winnipesaukee stone didn't exist until the late 19th century. As a result, two theories exist about the object. One, that it is indeed authentic, dating back to the time when only the Native American tribes roamed the New World, and was tampered with by some unknown person with a power tool. The second theory, on the other hand, proposes that it was the Native Americans who bore the holes into the sculpture, which implies that they possessed an elevated level of technology at a time when the industrial age didn't exist. So, this could change our whole understanding of Native American culture, and humanity's technological progress for that matter. Number 6. The Baghdad Battery. The thing about the Baghdad Battery is that it can drastically change the way we understand the ancient Mesopotamians. and humanity's quest for sustainable energy for that matter. This artifact is made of a clay jar with a tube of sorts inside, made of a substance akin to copper, which is a great conductor. If it were to come into contact with some alkaline or acid, it would have certainly emitted an electrical charge. In fact, some experts think that it was used to meld gold and silver together in what could be seen as an ancient form of electroplating. Now, it is still a point of debate as to whether the Baghdad battery was indeed an object used in ancient times to generate energy for that purpose, or if it is just some generic pot that was simply used for storage. In any case, it's these little mysteries that make our ancestors all the more interesting. Number 5. The Bagong Pipes. The Bagong Pipes, so named for the mountain where it is located, is a series of metal pipes, iron to be exact, embedded in it. And that's just the beginning of it. First of all, no one was ever known to have inhabited Mount Bagong, so it's a mystery as to who exactly put all these iron pipes within it. In fact, they were only accidentally found by some US scientists that were excavating for fossils. Secondly, the pipes run along up to a nearby lake, which brings us to the question, what were these really for? Finally, and this is probably what makes the Bagong Pipes even more of a puzzle than it already is, the Bagong Pipes were found to contain ancient plant matter that dates to millions of years ago, which means they could have been around even before humans were. Up to now, no conclusive theory has been made about the Bagong Pipes. Some people think it's a natural formation, others think it's all a sham. Others still, especially UFO bozos, believe that Bagong Mountain was once an alien laboratory. Number 4. The Stone Balls. In Costa Rica, giant balls made of stone have become a pretty common sight. Now, this wouldn't have been peculiar had they been simply boulders, but the Costa Rican stone balls appear to have been chiseled and smoothed out. It's something that nature alone can't have created. However, no one knows who or what exactly made these stone balls, and apart from that, some of them stand taller than a fully grown person and weigh several tons, which makes everyone question how these weird rocks were transported, considering there aren't any quarries or heavy machinery around areas where the balls can be found. Not that it would matter anyway, since the stones the balls are made out of have been discovered to be volcanic rock, meaning they couldn't have come from any quarry at all. Number 3. The Sea of Galilee's Rock Monument. Archaeologists from Israel chanced upon a weird shape under the Sea of Galilee during one of their routine trips in 2003, a formation of stones that doesn't seem to have been created by nature, considering its cone shape and what appears to be a deliberate arrangement. All in all, the whole monument spans diametrically 200 feet and about 40 feet high. Again, these are stones we're talking about, which means they approximately weigh tens of thousands of tons. Scientists, when it came to analyzing the underwater monument, have come up with next to nothing. Its date of origin is inconclusive, as it could be anywhere between 2 and 12,000 years old. Even less is known about the purpose the monument served. Some theorists think it was used as some sort of ancient man-made fishery, while others believe it's an old burial site used by some long-forgotten civilization. Either way, this is a big find for the whole scientific community. Number 2. The Voynich Manuscript. The Voynich manuscript is one of the most famous mysterious artifacts found up to this day. Named after its former owner who bought the book from an unnamed dealer back in 1912, the manuscript has been proven by scientists to have been around ever since the 1400s. What makes this book so special is that it was written in an as yet unknown language, so we really can't know for sure what the author is talking about. In fact, no one even knows who wrote the Voynich manuscript, with many experts just being able to come up with the conclusion that it was created by someone during the Renaissance. Its fame could partly be attributed to the mysterious language used in it, which even the greatest cryptographers of today can't seem to decipher. Apart from the mysterious symbols used to write the book, what further complicates matters are the illustrations in it, such as plants, mandalas, and even dragons. So, combining those really exotic illustrations with its mysterious text, a lot of interesting theories about what the Voynich manuscript is have been thrown around, ranging from it being an old medical glossary to being a book of magic, right up to being a gateway to hell. As such, it remains one of the world's most curious pieces of literature. Number 1. The Turin Shroud. If there's one object that's been the cause of so much disagreement among both the scientific and non-scientific communities of the world, it's arguably the Turin Shroud. Believed to be the burial cloth that Jesus Christ was covered in, the shroud bears an imprint of a man that resembles the Son of God himself. As of this video, the shroud has been given the go signal by the Catholic Church to be considered an icon of the religion, which means the question still stands as to whether it is really of divine origin. You see, the problem is that the shroud was carbon dated by scientists back in 1988, which places its origin to be sometime between the mid-13th century up to the late 14th century, which means there is a possibility that the shroud is one of the longest running hoaxes in the history of man. It is this same reason that even the Church has yet to confirm whether it is an object of divinity, opting instead to consider it as a religious icon, which totally neither confirms or denies its authenticity. On the other hand, there are experts who don't agree with the results of the dating done on the shroud, which just makes the artifact even more of a mystery. Authentic or not, the Turin shroud is one of those objects that continues to cause a lot of stir in the global community. Do you think you can decipher the mysteries behind these artifacts? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you enjoy this video, please drop it a like to show your appreciation, and make sure to subscribe to my channel to get the latest updates as soon as we post it. Thanks for watching.